Hi guys, this is Harish Kumar Reddy. I'm DevOps certified trainer. Previously, we are discussing about Linux introduction and we seen so far what is the difference between Linux and Windows. Now, today I'm trying to discuss about Linux commands. Okay, so we'll try to discuss previously what we are trying to do. Okay, so basically, we are trying to go with what is Linux actually. Okay, so Linux is an open source. Okay, so where we are we are giving security under your servers. Okay, Linux is an open source which where we are giving security under the servers. Okay, and one more thing, so why we need to go with the Linux actually? If you want to learn cloud, so definitely if you want to learn the cloud and if you want to go with deployment as a DevOps, definitely we need to go with Linux actually, because we are working with the client terminals. Okay, so that's why I'm trying to discuss about the Linux here. Okay, so for the extension of DevOps, first basic scratch is we need to go with basic scratch, that is Linux only. Okay, so Linux is the basic for DevOps. So because we are trying to go with like I can call this one as punching. Okay, I can call this one as a methodology. Okay, I can call this one as a methodology, or I can go with the process. Okay, methodology or process, this is what we are trying to go with the Linux basics actually. So for this, how many types are there in Linux commands? So types of Linux commands, the first one which we are trying to go with, the first one is user defined commands. Next, second one is system defined commands. And third one, we are trying to go with packages. And fourth, I'm trying to go with bash scripting. Okay, so types of Linux commands is user defined commands, system defined commands, packages, and we are trying to go with bash scripting. Bash scripting is nothing but programming. Okay, so we are working with the programming. Okay, so this is what we are trying to go with Linux commands. Okay, so basically we need to know all these things if you want to learn Linux. Okay, the second one is, next we are trying to go with, the first one is user defined commands. user defined commands. In this user defined commands, we need to learn some basics, because this is very important. Okay, so you already know this, I know you see many YouTube videos, but the thing is, as per the practice level, you need to work on the user defined commands. The first one is how to create a files how to create a files. Okay, and how to delete the files. How to delete the files. Okay, how to delete the files. Next, second one is how to create a directories. And how to delete the directories. how to delete the directories. Okay, so these are very important, and it is very basic also, as you know this. Okay, so basically what is directory here? Directory is nothing but a folder. In Windows we can call this one as a folder. Okay, but here in Linux I can call this one as a directory. Okay, so we have some different names in Linux. In Linux we can call this one as a directory, and in coming to Windows we are trying to work on the folder. Okay, so let's start the practical also. First we'll try to create a server in cloud. Okay, so so we already seen the discussion of how to connect the cloud in AWS machine. I have already my AWS machine in my site, so I just want to create. I already told you discuss about EC2 also. Please try to refer my previous videos also, it will be very useful to you. Okay, so now I'll try to create instance again. I want to connect to client terminal. Okay, so for this I'm trying to go with instances. So I just want to connect the launching the instance. So here I'm trying to go with ready-made flavor because I'm not doing any manual process. I'm working with the ready-made flavor. Okay, so for this I'm trying to go with Ubuntu, or you can call this one as, you can write any name from your side, Linux. Okay, so I just give a name of Linux. Okay, so once you're trying to create a Linux name, just you can try to see any flavor, you can try to add any flavor from your side. Okay, so those who are working with company, so they'll try to go with Ubuntu, Red Hat, or CentOS, or they'll try to go with Windows also. Okay, so now what I want to say here is, I want to go with the any flavor, that is Ubuntu or Linux, anything. Okay, I try to take Ubuntu. So now I am trying to go with version, so 22.4 LTS version. Okay, so now I'm trying to go with key pair, because key pair is very important to creating the server, because this key pair is mediator between the client terminal and as well as AWS machine. Okay, so just I'm trying to create a key pair with the name of Linux, something, any name. Okay, so any name, I'm trying to go with the key pair. So once key pair has been done, now we are trying to go with, so just try to take very basic level. So I don't want to give the complex for you, I just want to go with basic level only. Okay, so because you are very new for the AWS, I hope. Okay, so that's why I'm trying to go with this, like this only. Okay, so just I'm trying to go with this and just launching the instance, that's it. Very simple. Okay, so let's, once you've done this, let's go with instances. See here, the currently my server is running here. See, this is my server is running. Okay, so whatever I was download this one, this is a key file. This is called a key file, remember this. Okay, see, if you are working in Windows, those who are working in Windows, it's very simple guys. So I try to follow my commands, that's it, not more than that. Okay, so if you are working in Windows, go to download folder, whatever you have a file, go to download folder. So just right click on this, you will get git bash. So right click on this folder, you will get git bash here. Okay, so those who are working, okay, so go to that particular folder, because where is the key is the key has been found in download folder, or you can try to copy and you can paste in one folder, that's not a problem. Okay, because without key we are not working, so currently I'm using MacBook, so that's why I'll try to go with my own commands. Okay, so in the same way, if those who are working in Windows laptop, go to download folder, right click on this, you will get git bash here. Okay, you will found git bash here, and you can click on this git bash, you will get terminal. Okay, so in that terminal we have downloads, in that folder you have a downloads. Suppose if you try to copy and paste in some other folder, you will go to that folder, and you can right click on this, you will get one folder name. Okay, similarly it will found, no problem. Okay, so now what I can do here is, I can click on this file. So once the server is created, now what I'm doing, so whenever the server is created, the public IP address and private IP address will be found. That's not a problem. Okay, because we are working with the cloud. Okay, so now let's connect the server. So I'm trying to connect the server by using Mac. Don't worry guys, those who are working with Windows, directly connect this. You can copy and you can paste directly wherever you have a key. Okay, in the similarly, if those who are working with MacBook, so please try to follow my steps. Okay, so just copy this file and just I'm trying to go with. So I just want to go with the terminal. Okay, so where is my terminal? My terminal is somewhere here. Okay, so in MacBook we have a default terminal. Try to go with this, and you need to install Git Bash, guys. Okay, so please try to install Git Bash from your side. Okay, so I'll try to show you how to install Git Bash in MacBook in next coming videos. Okay, so no need to worry. So in MacBooks, most probably lot of the members has facing some issues how to install Git Bash. Okay, so but I have already Git Bash from my side, so I can try to make you video once I can work on this progress. So currently I have a Git Bash here, so you need to install Git Bash. That's very important. Okay, so Git Bash is a client terminal. One thing you have to remember. So refer my previous EC2 instance, guys. It will be very helpful to you. Okay, so you need to install Git Bash. That's very important. So Git is the client terminal. Okay, so once you are trying to install Git Bash, I'll try to make a video, guys. No need to worry about this in next coming videos. Okay, so once you try to go with the Git Bash, so this is the base. This is a base. Okay, so this is my username and I'm using MacBook. Okay, so now I'm trying to paste this key file name. I'm trying to go with key file name. Those who are working in Windows, no need to use this. Go to directly download folder, right click on this, open Git Bash here, you can connect the server. Okay, so those who are working in MacBook, you have to do this. That's very important because we are working with the permissions. Okay, so permission. Okay, so see it is asking that linux.pem no such file directory has been found. Okay, so for this what I can do, so don't go directly for this, guys. For this what I can do, I want to go with the download folder because it's very important to me. Okay, where is my key file? My key file has been found. My key file has been found in download folder. Okay, so for this what I can do here is I can go with cd downloads. Okay, so I'm trying to go with the download folder. Okay, now you can add the permissions. Okay, so this is what we are trying to do. Okay, let's go with paste, enter. See, it is found. Okay, so previously it is not found because we are not entered into download folder. Now we entered into download folder. This is very important. Okay, so now you can connect the server very easily. Okay, so this is how to create a connection in EC2 instance. In EC2 instance. Okay, you can paste this. Right, now you can enter this. Okay, click on yes. Yeah, this is how we can connect the server very easily. Okay, so welcome to Ubuntu server. See here, it is showing that welcome to Ubuntu server 22.4 LTS version. This is how we can connect the server. If you want a proof, see here, this is my private IP address. 172.31.3.246 is my private IP address. So now what I can do here is I can go with this terminal. See, this is 172.31.246. This is how we can connect the servers very easily. Okay, so by using Git Bash. Now we'll try to go with the as per user defined commands. Let's clear the screen. Now I'm working with the user defined commands. So basically if you are working with user defined commands in files, while creating the files you have two types, guys. Okay, one is cat, one is touch. Okay, so I'll try to discuss what is cat, what is touch actually in practical session. Okay, now let's go with the cat. So cat will define the message, guys. I can go with F1. Okay, so hi, well, very good morning to all. Very good morning to all. Okay, hi, welcome to DevOps world. Welcome to DevOps world. Hi, welcome to all members. Okay, so this is what we are trying to do. Okay, so this is, I'm trying to create one text message, that's it. Okay, because basically in Linux we need to write some text, right? For this cat command is very helpful to you, okay, to write the message. Okay, now let's go with Control C. I'm trying to go with Control C. Okay, once you've done this Control C, you can come out from the message. You're coming from out from the message. Okay, so now if I go with LS stands for list. LS stands for list. I'm trying to go with F1. See here, F1 is created. Okay, so now if I want to view the message, I can go with cat F1. I can go with cat F1. Okay, so this is how we can display the message. Similarly, I can take one more example. Cat, I can go with F2. So, hi, how are you all? How are you all? Okay, welcome. Welcome to CYCSOFT. CYCSOFT. Okay, so this is what I'm trying to give the message. So just I'm trying to come out from the terminal. Okay, so now if I go with ls, I have a two files currently. That is F1, F2. Okay, so now I can go with cat F2. See, this is how we can display the message. Okay, similarly, so if I want to merge the files, of F1, F2, I can go with cat F1, F2. So this is how we can merge the files. Okay, so basically why we need to go with this. So cat command will display the messages. Okay, so this is very simple, guys. Okay, so in the same way, we have one more type without display the messages. We are trying to go with one more file, that is touch command. Touch F3, F4, F5, F6. I am giving multiple files. See, this is how we can go. If I go with LSC here, I have multiple files. That is F3, F4, F5, F6. I have multiple files. Then what I can do this? What I want to work this. So here you have to remember one thing. Cat will display the messages. Touch will not display the messages. Okay, it will show the multiple files according to the commands. Okay, this is called user defined command. Okay, so now how can you delete the files? It's very simple. So for this I'm going with rm. So whatever you want to take a file, whatever you need to, suppose I want to remove f3, f6. I want to remove f3 and f6. See, if I go with ls, see, I don't have any files f3 and f6. F3, F6 has been removed successfully. Okay, so similarly, if I want to remove all the files, I can do that. Okay, F1, F2, so F4, F6. So F6 has been not found. Okay, previously it was removed, right? So no such file directory. If I go with ls, so I have only F5 has been found. Okay, now I can go with rm F5. If I go with ls, I don't have any files currently. Okay, so I was removed successfully. Okay, let's clear the screen. Okay, because I was removed the file successfully. Okay, now in the same way, how to create a directories. Okay, so mkdir d1, d2. I'm creating multiple directories, d3, d4 and d5. Okay, if I go with ls, see, I have I have nearly 5 directories. These folders. Okay, so this is a folder. Color, see here, you can see the color. It is going with the blue line. Okay, so this is called directory. So what about the files? Files will be like, so suppose I'm trying to go with touch f1, f2. I'm trying to create a files f1, f2. If I go with ls, see, these are the directories and these are the files. Okay, so these are the directories and these are the files. Okay, so this is how we can create a files. Okay, so now let's go with I want to remove the directories. rm dir d1, d2, d3, d4. So I want to remove the directories, guys. d5. Okay, so similarly it won't make a mark of f1 f2. So just if you want to remove the files, rm f1 f2, that's it. If you want to remove the directories, d1 d2, so rm dir d1 up to whatever you want to remove the files, you can remove that. Okay, now if I go with ls, see I have only files, there is no directories. I have a no directories. Now what I want to do this, now I want to remove the directories also, files also. Okay, so for this what I can do here is rm f1 f2 f1 f2. Okay, if I go with ls, I don't have any files. Okay, so this is how we can remove the directories. Okay, it's very simple guys, very easy also. Okay, so now let's go with similarly I just want to go with one more concept. Okay, so I want to work on the listing directories. So let us discuss about listing directories. Third one is, so discuss about listing files. So basically what is listing files actually? So our listing files are listing commands guys, are commands. Okay, commands. So for this what I can do here is, it's very simple. So let's go with first one is ls stands for list. Very simple. List the files. Now let's go with second one, ls -l. It's the length of the file. Length of the file. Okay, next we are trying to go with third one, ls -al. So we are trying to go with root of length of the file. Length of the files. Okay, now let's go with fourth one. Same, you can try to go with ls -al and ls -la. Same thing, root of the length of the file. Length of the files. Okay, similarly if I go with fifth one, ls -s. Yes, size of the file. Size of the files. Okay, next sixth one, ls -q. So I want to go with sequence of the file. Sequence of the file. Okay, sequence of the file. Now let's go with seventh one, ls -k. Okay, so you can go with ls -k, ls -t. Okay, this is completely like we are trying to go with the guys. So I can go with a name. So I am trying to go with size of the file. We'll try to discuss these things in our commands. Okay, so first I'll try to go with this. I'll try to mention the name here. Very simple. Let's go with listing the files. I'm trying to work on the listing files currently. Suppose I want to create some requirement for this. Okay, so I'm trying to create a requirement, touch f1 f2 because we already removed the files. Okay, so now mkdir d1 d2. Okay, so if I go with ls, I have some requirements. Now I want to search the files. For this I am going with ls. ls stands for list and ls -l length of the file. This is the length of the file. Remember this. This is called length of the file. So whatever you're trying to see, this one is a file permission guys. Okay, these are the file permissions. D stands for directory, read, write, execute, read, write, execute, read, write, execute. So I want to discuss about these things in next coming classes. No need to worry. So I can go with very sequential pattern guys. You no need to worry. So please try to learn the Linux, very, very important. Okay, so most probably all the companies is asking that you need to learn some basic Linux commands, because as a DevOps engineer, you need to work with the terminals. Okay, so for for this you need to go with these things. This is called file permissions, this is called users, how many users you're trying to go, this is the owner, this is the group, and this is the size of the memory, and this is the month, date, time, and this is the source file. Okay, so this is called a source file, remember this. Okay, so whenever you are doing any activity, so please it will mention very clearly about the commands. Okay, so these are the file permissions, this is the user, this is owner, this is group, and this is the file memory size, this is called month, this is called date, time, and this is called source file. This is called how we can create a length of the file. Okay, we'll try to discuss one by one what is these things later, but the thing is you need to know this. Okay, now ls-al, so this is called root of the files. Remember this, root of the files. So in server we have a files, right? That files will be generated. Okay, so this is called length of the file. This is completely like root. So from starting from root, we are trying to work on the source files. Okay, so whatever we have internal server files, that will be generated. Okay, now ls-la, so these files will be generated. Okay, now ls-s size. See, currently we don't have a size in files. I want to create a size for this. I want to create this size for this. Okay, now what I can do here is cat, I'm trying to go with creating F4, hi, hello, control C to come out. Now ls-s, see here, previously whatever we don't have any files in, because we use touch command here, but now I'm using some content text, hi, hello. So it is going with size. So it is taking the size of the file. Okay, so this is what we are trying to see, create a size of the file. Okay, now ls-n. N stands for, see, previously we are using, this is owner, right? So Ubuntu owner and group. Okay, so now in this methodology, what I want to do here is, see, Ubuntu having one life cycle. That is 1000 is a life cycle for the Ubuntu. Okay, so like our human life cycle is 100. In the same way, server life cycle is 1000. Okay, so this is what we are trying to create, ls-n. Okay, so now let's go with ls-k. K is a sequence. K is a sequence of the file. Okay, so this is what we are trying to go with the listing commands. Okay, so this is what we are trying to go with the listing commands. It's very simple. Okay, so because why I am telling these listing commands are very helpful for the Linux, because we need to know about the detailed information about the files. Okay, the source files. This is what we are trying to go with the listing files. Okay, so now let's move with one more topic. So I'll try to discuss one more topic, guys. It's very simple. So this is a sequence of the file. Sequence of the file. So this is all about listing commands. Next, we are trying to discuss about the task, guys. So I want to go with the sequence of folders. I want to create a sequence of folders. I want to create a task for the Linux. Okay. So first I'll try to create a D1. In D1, I need to go with in D1, I want to go with D2. In D2, I want to go with D3. I want to go with D3. In D3, I want to go with D4. Why we need to go with this actually? So basically what I want to say here is, so basically if the developer want to create a multiple folders, definitely we need to do this. Okay, in folder I want to go with D2, in D2 I want to go with this folder, I want to go with this folder. Okay, so whatever you are trying to see, like so the I can go with like this, the output home slash Ubuntu slash D1. In D1 I want D2, in D2 I want D3, in D3 I want D4. Okay, so whatever you are trying to see this complete line, whatever you are trying to see this is complete line, this is called absolute path. Absolute path. Okay, so because in Windows it is very easy, guys, because will try to see the folders very easily in upper side. Okay, but here in MacBook I want to see the output result like this. I want to see the result like this. Okay, so whatever you're trying to see inside D1, D2, D4, this is called relative path. Whatever you're trying to see entire line, this is called absolute path. Okay, so relative path and absolute paths are very important. For this I want to do the task for this. Okay, so I will go with practical to understand this concept. Now I can work on the progress. So for this what I can do here is I want to create a folder. Okay, let's create the file. So I can remove all the files now. If I go with ls, I have all the files. I want to create rm dir d1 d2. So rm f1 f2 f3 f4. Okay, so I can clear the screen now. So currently I don't have any files currently. Let's check this. I don't have any files. Now I can create a task for this. Okay, so first I want to create a folder mkdir d1. Okay, so in d1 I want to go with d2. Okay, for this I'm going with cd d2. cd stands for change directory. cd stands for change directory. Okay, so for this, see here what I did mistake, d2. Okay, don't do this. So for this what I can do here is cd d1. Okay, see I was entered into this folder. I was entered into the sequence folder. Okay, so mkdir d2 cd d2. Now mkdir d3 cd d3. mkdir d4 cd d4. Okay, so within the folder into the folder. So whatever you are trying to create a multiple folders, that is called a nested folder. That is called nested folder. Now if I go with I want to get output result, guys. pwd. pw stands for present working directory. So this is my output. Home ubuntu d1 d2 d3 d4. Okay, so this is how we can we can go with the sequential files. Now I want to remove the file. So basically in this task this is working on sequential pattern. So I want to go with the backtrack. I want to work on the backtrack. For this I can go with cd dot dot. cd dot dot stands for it will remove the backtrack completely. cd dot dot. Okay, so if I want to go back to my home directory directly, I can go with cd slash home slash ubuntu. Okay, cd slash home slash ubuntu. If I go with pwd, currently I don't have any files. Okay, so basically my default user is home ubuntu, but the thing is you need to go with sequential pattern. Okay, so why we need to go with this actually? So because whenever the developer is giving some files to you, you need to check these files. Okay, this is very important because you don't know what is internal files will be there and under the developer side. Okay, so that's why I'm using this task, guys. So previously you might have a doubt, so in folders we have multiple files, right? So how can you go with this? Okay, so basically in this is completely like package. Okay, so like in d1 I have some files, in d2 I have some files, in d3 I have some files. This is called a package. Okay, so we need to work on the packages. Okay, we'll try to discuss later that one, but as per the basic level you need to work on this. Okay, so this is all about today's class, guys. So tomorrow we'll continue again the extension of Linux again. Okay, so this is I can go with practical, guys, in day-to-day scenarios. Please try to see my videos, and those who are not unknown of this Linux, try to work this as per the practice level. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask me in comment section. I can reply you back. Okay, so this is all about today's class, and tomorrow we'll try to discuss about some more commands in Linux part. Okay, so this is all about today's class. Thank you, guys, and have a nice day.